What's up, y'all? I'm LaPortia. Welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to continue this series, Travel Tips from an Airline Employee. I have worked for an airline since 2021. I travel very often, and from traveling so much and working for an airline, I've learned a lot about travel, and I started this series to share travel tips with you so you can start having a better travel experience. Let me show y'all what I'm drinking. I'm having a matcha in a jam jar. I saw this trend online, everyone making matchas in a jam jar. So it's like a cheat for making a strawberry matcha. You just, once your jam is almost done and you have like a little bit of strawberry jam left in there, you just make a matcha in the jar and you get the strawberry flavor. It's actually it's pretty good. It's actually delicious. I was a little skeptical because I make my strawberry matchas with fresh strawberries, but this is a cool alternative. So let's get into today's topic. Today I want to help you out with just staying on top of your flight that you're taking, updates and things like that. I think it starts with your mindset around travel. I think a lot of people look at traveling. I know airline tickets are expensive, so you pay hundreds, sometimes over $1,000 for a ticket, and you're expecting a certain level of service. But honestly, that's just what it costs to fly in the air. I think some people have to stop thinking about travel as like a concierge service and think of it more as like just an independent thing that take more responsibility for your flight. I think that's what people need to do. Now, I'm not trying to defend any airline because these airlines been playing games. They've been playing in your faces. However, if you need to get where you gotta go, at the end of the day, just be super on top of tracking your flight and knowing what's going on, and I'm gonna show you ways to do that. Let me have some more matcha. For example, time changes, gate changes. I've been in the airport and seen so many people miss their flight because of not realizing the time change, not realizing the gate change. And I know you should have received a text. I know you should have received an email. I know there shouldn't have been an announcement. But unfortunately, even if all that is not done, you still need to know your gate, you still need to know the time of your flight, and you still need to get on that plane or else you're going to miss your flight. And the way flights are right now, everything's booked up. You're not guaranteed a seat on the next one. So I just want you to make your flight. So one, you want to make sure all the information is in your reservation is correct and that you provide everything, a phone number, an email, everything. You sign up for alerts, you have the app on your phone, everything. There are times where people have been missing on a flight and employees go in their reservation to see if they're nearby, like to call them and kind of say, hey, the gate change, we're over here, the doors are about to close on this flight, but you go on the reservation and there's no number to call, or the number in the reservation is not accurate. So you have to make sure everything in your record is accurate and give the airline all the information you can so that they have multiple ways of getting in touch with you. Also, download that app on your phone, have your reservation in your app, and that app will be up to date with gate changes and time changes. I know someone should be there to make an announcement if a gate changed, but what if they did and you didn't hear them? What if you went to the bathroom or went to the store and missed the announcement? You don't want to rely on one form of communication. Also, know your flight number. So your flight number is going to be those series of numbers that come after the airline code. So if you're flying Delta, the code is DL. If you're flying American Airlines, it's going to be AA. So your flight number would be DL123 or AA123. I can't tell you how many times people have come up to me in the airport and say, hey, what gate is my flight leaving out of? So I'll check for you. What's the flight number? I don't know. How are you getting on the flight and you don't even know the flight number? So that means even if I did make an announcement for Delta Flight 123, you don't know I'm talking about your flight. You have to know this information. Take ownership, take responsibility of your flight and your travel. You should know where you're going, the city, and that's another thing. Sometimes people will say, I'm traveling to North Carolina. Charlotte, Raleigh, Greensboro, Wilmington, where in North Carolina. Know where you're going, the flight number, the scheduled departure time, and then you should be getting text alerts or alerts in the app for any changes. Lastly, you don't have the app on your phone, you don't see anyone making announcements, just an easy way, something we can all do to check our flight. And all you need is a phone and Wi-Fi or data. You can simply go to google.com, and you're simply going to type that flight number that we talked about into Google. So I'm just picking a flight number, and it gives me all the details, the scheduled departure time, the terminal, the gate, and the gate that I'm going to land, and the time I'm going to land. So let's say I look at this and it's 30 minutes before my flight and I'm at the gate that Google told me to go to and no one's there, the flight number isn't listed on the screen. I'm going to pull out my phone and check again to see if there was a change, because 30 minutes before my flight, people should be at the gate. That is boarding time. So you're going to go back to Google. You're going to type that in again, and aha, see the new gate, because likely either the gate has changed or the time has changed. So all you need is your phone to track your flight. You're not going to rely on an airline employee to be at the gate making an announcement that you're going to hear. That would be nice. That would be great. Yes, it is their job, but sometimes people don't do their job, and you don't want to miss your flight because someone else didn't do their job, or because you were in the bathroom and didn't hear the announcement, or because you were on your phone and didn't hear the announcement, or because no one showed up and made the announcement because they're short-staffed that day. At the end of the day, what is important is that you get on your flight. So, to review, you're going to know where you're going, the scheduled departure time, the flight number, and you are going to use the airline app, or if all else fails, Google, and get up-to-date information on your flight. If you do these things, you will not miss your flight. Make sure you're at your gate ready to board 30 minutes before the flight, not at the departure time. If the plane is going in the air at 7:30, you cannot arrive at the gate at 7:30 and expect to get on your flight. The plane is going in the air. So you're going to know that information. You're going to be at your gate at least 30 minutes beforehand in time for boarding, and you will not miss your flight. And hopefully these airlines get it together and do better at communication, but in the meanwhile, you are not going to miss your flight. Think about it as any other means of transportation. I know it's more expensive, but if you are taking the train to work from Brooklyn to Manhattan, do you expect MTA to text you all the details? If your train stops running, if your train is delayed, you're going to go to the MTA website or app or whatever you use to track the train schedule to make sure you get to work. If you're taking a bus, if you're taking the Amtrak, if you are driving somewhere and there are road closures, just think about it the same way. You have to be on top of these things. You have to know the information. I know you paid a lot of money and the airline should tell you, but if they're not, you still don't want to miss your flight. So that's my travel tip for today. I'm a very independent traveler. I know my flight number when I'm walking into the airport. I also know my itinerary number. So if I need anyone to look up my reservation, I know that code. I could just tell you. You could pull it up and just have all your documents, all your numbers, your ID, your boarding pass, your bag tag number. If you check the bag, that slip, you just have to be on top of it. So that's my tip for today. I hope you enjoyed this series. If you have questions about travel, things you want me to cover in the next video, leave it in the comments. Share any tips you have in the comments. Also, do your girl a favor, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.